Okay, well, that didn't go the way I expected it to go. I was really expecting that we would be able to set that up, but we can't. So be it. All right. I'm just double checking to make sure that I'm actually online. I switched so much stuff over. I don't even remember, what's going on anymore here. So I just want to double check that, make sure. I've done that before where I came out here and I'm broadcasting and then I find out that I'm actually not online at all. It's kind of frustrating. So with that said, you got to make sure. And we're just kind of playing around out here today, not really doing anything other than messing around. So let me see if I can. I can't seem to find. There it is. Okay, so that one is the one. See if I can get this voice to show up also. That'll be nice, huh? Let's see. Turn it up. Turn it up. There we go. Turn it up. There we go. All right. I'm going to turn it back down so that I know it's working. Okay, so I know it's working now. I know you guys can see me, or at least I hope you guys can see me. I hope this is public. I do want to check that to make sure it actually is public. I don't even know that it is. It does say visibility public. Okay, good. So we can just continue talking here about the different things, and I'll go on to different items. I know we talked a little bit about how many videos, and so that's one of the things that I'm really struggling with at this point is how many videos is the right number of videos. Do releasing every day have an impact on your channel versus releasing every other day, releasing every third day, releasing every fourth day? Is releasing once a week better? Is releasing every 2 weeks better? It's an interesting question, and I'm not sure that I have a good answer for it at this point. I suspect that there's benefits to all of them depending upon how you use it and depending on the type of content you have. So, for example, we were talking earlier about the idea that what was I saying? That we talked earlier about the fact that I was posting every 4 days and seeing how that would work, as opposed to what I used to do, which was post every other day. And now I'm also learning that there is a good ways to use shorts, but I'm making real content with shorts as opposed to just taking Opus clips or something like that and splitting the content up. I've learned that the real content works really well given the right scenarios and right situations. Now it's subject to the same finagling that you'd get with the other content, with long form content, but you do definitely have the ability to create short form content that is a net plus for your channel if you get into doing that. So that is why I think that it's important that you do everything when you first start. And what I mean by that is if you're looking to build a real channel here, then the user is a user, and you want the long form content, because it's the one that's going to generate your AdSense revenue. But to be honest with you, if AdSense revenue is where you're after, um, the chances of you getting to a point where you have enough AdSense revenue to really make a difference in your life is not really, great unless you're doing something like, a million subscribers. And then you're talking about, your videos get, let's say, half a million views, which is, if you divide that by 1,000, it's 500,000. 500,000, a couple dollars a piece, and you could make some money that way. The big one's going to be sponsors, and then affiliates, and selling some kind of product seems to be really popular also. And I think that one's really popular because it doesn't take a huge amount of traffic to make it work. So you have different levels of traffic in order to be successful. In order for an affiliate to be successful, you have to have enough people to be able to get that, that ROI out of promoting it, and then get a couple of sales out of it. And those sales have to be large enough to make that money profitable. That's where affiliates are kind of very difficult to do. I mean, anyone can start off with simple affiliates, go out to Amazon and promote a product out there. I mean, I had one that I completely didn't even think about that went off on my solar channel just the last 24 hours. And I'm selling dozens of them, but it's just a little solar panel tester. And for me, it was just a matter, I've got one for myself because I was testing a bunch of new panels that I got in, and I thought, oh, I'll make a short about this. And that's what I meant by real content. It was real content. It wasn't just an opus cuts off of another video somewhere where it didn't have any real meaning. I did it with intention of, hey, here's how you use this device, and here's what it's good for. And see, this is what it is. And now I put the link on there for that, and then all of a sudden it started snowballing. So that's actually really good. So that's a new line of the way to look at things, because I had never really thought of it that way. But I guess it makes sense if you look at the social media world. That's what people are using it for. That's how TikTok works. That's how, all these other types of social media and stuff. And I'm exclusively YouTube. I don't have the time to learn another platform, to play with their rules, to change the things around, to deal with the TikTok's licensing is just stupid. I went in and I actually bought their editor and all that, which is the name of that, CapCut. And, I was using it daily for editing and stuff like that. Oh, excuse me. And then realized that their licensing is just obnoxiously crazy. So much so that I switched to DaVinci Resolve, even though I had to pay, hundreds of dollars to buy a new license copy. So that is where you can start. You can start with those affiliate links from YouTube and stuff like that, but your content still has to be generating enough traffic for it to be useful and helpful. Then you have the middle of the road, which is where people actually give you product to show on your channel and stuff like that. Now, this has twofold benefit. I recently changed my way of working with this one. Is you would look at it as, hey, they're going to give me a product. That's actually payment. And for some of us, it is. If you're, in the case of me, when I was starting my solar channel, it was very helpful. They would donate, give me equipment that I could use, and then all I had to do is build a video for that equipment, and then I put that equipment in use. At first, that's fine, but then you end up with a whole bunch of equipment sitting around, and you're not using it all, and you're basically just taking the equipment to do it. It doesn't pay the bills or anything. So one of the things that I did, and it also felt like you got locked into giving them the kind of content they wanted for what they were offering. So I changed my rules there to, they have to give me the equipment. but that I also charge a fee, and that there are no restrictions on what I can do, and I never signed their agreement. So that changed quite a bit because now I don't feel so tied to them. I don't feel bad when I do a review, and I had a bad one that went sour back a month or two ago, where I hooked the device up that they sent me, and it simply was a piece of junk. And that's where your credibility is worth more than any device or any fee. And I basically I failed it right there on the spot. And I'll give some of these companies, some of these companies you have to give credit for how they handle things, and others you have to wonder how did they stay in business for so long? Because for me, it's not so much that you have problems with an item, because everybody has problems. You go to a good hotel, you have problems sometimes, and you have to, but it's how they fix it that becomes the issue. And that's the thing with affiliates, that you have to be careful not to block yourself into where you're saying things and doing things because they're giving you something. You need to always be honest with yourself, and always be honest with your people, and give them the description. Like, I've got a description down below for CapCut. Some people love it. But I personally will not use it for editing anymore, simply because their licensing restrictions are basically crazy. Um, they basically have the right to use your video any way you want. And I don't like that. My content should be my content in my eyes. Now, I'm not big enough for it to matter, but the last thing I want to do is do all this work to build this channel up, and to get to where, I have some subscribers, and I have something that's worth something. And then I find out that all of my content is also owned by TikTok, or CapCut, or whoever you want to call them, whatever they want to be. So for me, it was, no, let's back off of that. Let's learn a new tool. Let's take the time now, while you're in this building stage, to learn to box yourself in, because you're going to box yourself into using certain things. You're going to learn to use a certain editor, and you're not going to want to change. You're going to learn to use a certain set of microphones and kid setups and live streams, and you're going to do things a certain way. So right now, while you're building your channel, this is the time to play. Just like today, I'm playing with live streams, a way to make it easier. Now, when I do my solar channel live streams, I got to have multiple camera views. I've got to have, ability for people to see what I'm working on, to zoom in on what I'm working on, to look at me, to look at the products that I hold up, or to show you certain things or whatever. And I need different cameras to do that. So it's very complicated. This channel is not that complicated. I'm using the default software. I don't have any real need for the complication. So today I'm playing with it a little bit and learning that. So that's important. It should be that you base your content around a subject. Now, this is where people get stuck on niche, and how your niche affects your channel. And the simple fact is that if I go and look at it from a perspective of a viewer, forget TikTok, forget YouTube, forget all of that junk. Think of it from a perspective of a viewer. If you go out on YouTube and you pull up a video about fishing, is my usual example. You pull up a video and you love fishing, and you pull up a video and there's a guy on a boat and he's throwing a reel out and he's casting in, and you're just like caught, and you love it. You hit subscribe, and the next video you get from this guy is one about his fixing his computer, and then one after that is about his road trip to Montana. The next thing that you do is you hit unsubscribe. And the reason being is that when somebody hits subscribe, there is a unsaid, I don't want to call it contract, but there technically, I guess it is a contract. You have an unsaid contract between you and them, that you're going to produce content that they like. And when you break that contract, they feel like they have to get out. And I do it all the time. I will find a channel that I think I like. I'll watch a video or two, and then all of a sudden it'll go off the rails. And instead of it being about, where I thought it was going to be, somebody telling me about their solar system, I start learning about their lawn equipment. And I'm like, what is this? So niches is important in that extent. Now, here, when you first start, finding what you want to do on YouTube is really important. And let me give you a couple pieces of advice, because you can find yourself blocked in on accident and really make it difficult for you to move forward. Let's talk about unintentional niche definition. And what I mean by that is you go out and you just start throwing crap at the wall trying to get something that works. You don't know what you want to write about. You don't want to know what you want to make videos about. So one day you do something about this, and the next day you do something about that, and the next day you post a whole bunch of shorts, and the next day you post this, and the next day you post that. But let me warn you, if you have something that is successful, let's take the perfect example. You get a video that goes viral and you get 1 million views. From that 1 million views, let's say you get 10,000, 20,000, 30,000 subscribers. Your channel is instantly made with that contract for that content, meaning you don't really have as much flexibility anymore as you had the day before that went viral. When that goes viral, your channel is defined. And if you don't stick with your contract, you will either A, start getting inactive subscribers, or B, getting subscribers that unsubscribe. Let's talk about inactive subscribers and what kind of problems these cause for you. And this is where a lot of people have problems with shorts. Shorts has a tendency to create a lot of inactive subscribers. And I'm not sure if it's the shorts that create the inactive subscribers or if it's the content of the shorts, the way they're being used. So for me, I have a decent response from my shorts users. I wouldn't say it's as good as long form. So if I post 100 long form videos and get 1,000 subscribers from long-term videos, then I have a very good chance that those 1,000 subscribers are active members of my community. If I post a couple of shorts and do the same thing and get the same 1,000 subscribers, it is very likely that those members are not going to be as active in the community that I've built. But that's because the community that I built is different from the community that they joined. So I need to keep producing short content for those members and long content for these members, because I've got 2 sets of contracts and both of them are similar, and you can draw from both of them because the content is the same, but the format needs to be the same too, and to keep those members active. And that's where you'll see channels like an Ambition Strikes is a really good example of what I mean by this. When you sign up for that channel, that contract that you have with them is that he's going to go out, he's going to be very ambitious, and he's going to build things, and he's going to make things happen. And that's exactly what every video he puts out does. And if you'll notice that he doesn't only have 1 million subscribers, he has 1 million subscribers and 500, 600, 700, 800,000 views on every video. Very, very active community, because the contract is extremely well defined. The niche is well defined. And that's what it is. Those people that subscribe to that, I subscribe to that. And that's what I want to see when I go back there. I don't want to go back and see. Now, there is a balance between his promotional content, his what do you want to call it, affiliates and that kind of stuff. And you have to be careful not to overdo it. But that's a perfect example of how you do it. And then if you take the shorts and you treat it as two contracts, what content am I going to create for these people? What content am I going to create for these people? And create content for both of them, you'll find that your short viewers participation increases quite a bit. And so that's my idea on that one. So anyway, I just wanted to get something done today and to have a nice little live stream and have a little chat. So I appreciate you coming. Thanks for watching. My name is Matt again. Hopefully you'll subscribe, and we'll talk again next time, and we'll see you live the next time. Until then, we'll see you in the videos.